And grab some. So for the bottom, we're going to have a couple. We got one large set of teeth. I can get this damn thing out. Once again, if you need to, remove the foam. Alright. So on this one right here, you'll notice that the bottom teeth have a little notch that'll fit right in. Just like that. Now, if you want to go ahead and paint these teeth, now is the time to do it. You can take maybe a pencil and just kind of mark where the line's going to be. And then paint it as you needed. But for me, I like it just like that. So I am going to apply another run of glue here, add a little bit more to the front face, just so I can get a nice glue seal. And if some of this runs up to the gaps in the teeth, I actually have no problem with that, because that adds a glossy effect to the teeth and with the stain, and adds a little bit of contradiction to this. Now, careful with this, because that glue will seep out the bottom there. You don't want to be pressing that with your fingers, or else you'll, just like a Buddhist, will become one with everything. Give that a good push down. Alright. Let that sit and dry. We'll go ahead and wipe off any excess that's popping out here. But a couple of good firm presses, and that should sit in there nicely. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to remove a couple of these foam pieces. Let me keep my hinge pin off to the side so I don't lose that. But this way I can get down to the rest of the teeth that are sitting here in the box. So this is why I like doing the teeth last, because these things are down here. Those out. Now there's two sets of side teeth. Let's see, these are for the top. And you can always do a dry fit to see which ones go in where. And that one should be the bottom there. Oops, wrong side. There we go. See? Fits nice in the contour. That one has bit of an anomaly. There we go. Alright, so this one's got a little bit of a gap up front. It looks like because that nub right there so what I will do, I said these things aren't perfect, they're wood. Let's grab some 400 sandpaper, smooth that off a little bit. Now I try and pick up on these as I'm making them, but once in a while stuff will kind of go past me a little bit. And we'll go ahead and it looks like we got a nub on the other side. So we will use our magic eraser for that as well. You don't want to be too aggressive with it. This is 400 grit, so it's not going to take off a whole hell of a lot in one chunk. And voila, much better fit. Go ahead and glue that into place. Put a little bit more glue on these parts so that way, because we're sealing 3 different surfaces. And get that popped in there. Give it a good squeeze. And as tight as that one's sitting in there, it should dry nicely without any further pressing. And let's go ahead and get the other one, make sure that one fits good. Oh yeah, that one's in there nice and tight. No extra nubs. And give that a good press. Keep my fingers off the area where the super glue is going to come out. Some may leak out underneath there. So I got some on my finger. Alright, and that is going to be the bottom half of your Mimic kit. Let's go ahead and pull over the top part. So now we have the teeth to do on there. Again, dry fit. Okay, that's looking good. Dry fit this side. That's fitting nicely. Go ahead, pop those in. You don't want to wait too long, especially if you're using super glue, to get those put in there, because that super glue will soak into that wood. I haven't mentioned this quite yet, but these are made from complete 100% hardwood boards, no plywood. I don't like using the plywood because those can, if you need to sand any of this, a lot of times they'll use a different color veneer under the first layer, and when you go and sand it, it'll show up and just, to me, make the whole thing ugly. Alright, so that one's in. Let's go ahead and move over to this one. Oops. Noticing some super glue. Why I keep the rag here. A little excess. Push down. That one may have had a little extra on the nubbage. But get that one pushed in. And now for the front teeth. Once again, dry fit. It's got a notch there that'll fit right in. Go ahead and get that glued up. Excess. This one kind of holds into place because it doesn't sit in there too well. And just let that little bit, so you get a little excess. Now you don't want to wipe too early because you want to give this a chance to set. Knock that around, you'll have to reapply the glue. Done that plenty of times before. Alright. So now we'll go ahead and put that one off to the side. Put that out of the way. Said excess eyes, so if you need to paint more you can. Extra hinge pins. I try and keep these with the grain going this way so that it reinforces the strength of it. And now what we're gonna do is let that dry for a little bit. Make sure I'm not gonna glue myself together. Dab here and there. You got a nice little, kind of like a little gum line look to it with that super glue sitting in there. Kind of a happy little accident. And now, careful with this because we got the magnets in place. We're going to go ahead and, well, firmly holding both sides, get it lined up and get it put together to where the teeth, here let me do that hopefully on camera this time. Get the magnets, get them lined up, put together, hold them nice and tight so we aren't busting things around, and get that lined up so we can put the hinge pins in. This is probably one of the simpler pieces. What we'll do, get two of them matched together, run it through. I always try and make sure that guess it really doesn't matter with this one, but try and make sure that the soot, you can see I did opposing on this one as well, so that way you can try and match the soots on the outside. Put this on, try and find an opposing, and just like that. And what we'll do is I'll just kind of put these out of the way here, and I will run this through. That looks good. Most of the time I can just run this through and there's enough flexibility. It looks like this one's going to be snug enough. I'm going to have to crap. Well, new addition to the kit. Looks like I'm going to have to make sure I put an extra couple of these in there. It's lined up. Why are you being... Alright, I'm going to go ahead and slide my hinges on. Maybe later on I'll make a better video on this. Making sure the soot's on the outside. Slide this through. Until I get it in that hole over there. Alright. Now most of the time, these should be sitting on the edge. But for this video purposes, I'm going to go ahead and just put this into place right now. Now, this one, when it's sitting on the edge, you want to go ahead and pop a little bit of glue on the edges here so it stays in place. So this threw me all off. Dag nabbit. Let's go ahead and pop this through. Alright, looks like I might have to redo this one. Nah. No, we'll just pull it off. So we don't have to fight with that. I think I'm just going to make another piece. All right, now